what that means. Sounds scary. All right.
Up in the cloud.
I know, and the cloud confuses me, so I just can't even do that while I'm practicing sobriety while I'm pregnant. So, okay. So the first thing that let's bring up is we are going to do a team party, our monthly team party, on Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Is that correct, girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Monday,
I don't have my planner in front of me, so I'm trusting my brain. So, you know, we'll make sure that, Sarah, we were going to talk today, and then I know you had an early morning and the day got away from me, so maybe we can talk tomorrow and get things just like create the event and some other things, and then give you girls some ideas of what we want to do, and then you girls can pick the live videos you'll want to make. Does that sound okay? So we're going to do that Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then I thought I had one more thing. I can't recall. I cannot remember. So anyways, we just had conference. Shelby, I don't know if you got to see any of the videos. I know that Sam, you were at Sarah's, and there's a phone number that jumped on. I don't know who that is, so sorry. But Courtney and Sherry, you were down in Florida. So I want you to kind of take the floor and just tell us how amazing conference was. Give us some aha moments. If there's anything they talked about that you really want us to know or really focus on for 2017, you know, share that with us. But just, you guys were there.
And Beth, that's the phone number.
Oh,
Hey, Beth.
Hi.
So Beth, you too. You,
Hello.
Courtney, and Sherry, just for the next few minutes, you know, each person take a turn and just tell us your aha moments. What did you walk away with from conference that changed your life forever?
Oh, man.
Whoever wants to start. I don't care.
I don't know. I liked how, I don't know if, like, obviously some people weren't able to, like, see it, but I liked how simple they made it when, like, Tammy did the mock blitz, like, just how simple it was, and that was really encouraging, because I think that's, like, mainly, like, what I was trying to get out of is, like, more of, like, a workshop type thing, but it was all, like, super inspiring. I don't know. They just had, like, a lot of good, like, quotes and, like, I don't know, different sayings and stuff like that to, like, be, like, uplifting and inspiring and motivating. So that's what I got out.
So who did you connect with the most? Which leader just really spoke to you?
I really liked Cammie. I mean, that's who I looked up to, and that's who I related to most. I mean, even though she wasn't able to talk much. But Sherry got me loving, like, Ashley Sinclair, and I think she's just a riot.
Yes. She's so hilarious. Oh my gosh, last year at conference, Ashley was up on stage and she was going to start doing a transformation with weight loss. And she said that something about when she first started using the product, she said, you know, Mark came to me and said, Ashley, you're supposed to use the wrap on your body. You're not supposed to eat them. Because she apparently was not happy with her weight. So she just always comes up with such fun one-liners. I love that.
Well, and then too, like how Brandon and Denise were kind of talking about, like, how they saw all these other people have success, but they were doing different things. And so Brandon and Denise thought that they had to do different things to have, like, success too. Mm-hmm. And that's where they really just, like, lost it. And so just going back to, like, what works for you and sticking with it. And I mean, incorporating new stuff if you want to, but just do what works for you.
I liked that part too. And I think that was really powerful coming from a Black Diamond. Because when you look at these top 100s, I always feel like they're doing everything. They're doing parties, they're blitzing, they're social media gurus, and they're the total package. But then when you hear Brandon and Denise say, just do what works for you, it's like, oh, I can do that. I don't have to be awesome at everything.
Right.
So, what was one of your favorite quotes that was said that really,
There's a lot of them.
or like one in your top 5?
I know which one you're going to choose, Courtney.
Which one?
Some will, some won't. So what?
Next.
I
Yes.
love that one from Stephanie.
That or you become what you think about, so think about what you want to become.
Right,
I like that.
right, which is true. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to add about conference?
Go ahead, Sherry.
Sherry or Beth?
Or Lisa. Lisa's on now too.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, yep, there she is.
Peace. Hi.
Hi.
How come I got a phone up there? Or is that not me?
Nope, that's not you. We can see you. So do you want to talk about your aha moments from conference?
There's so many.
I know.
Yeah, I was bedazzled. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I guess the simplicity that they made it, everything seemed so simple. And I am so a red personality. Oh my gosh. That I've got so much clutter and disorganization because I worry so much about details and knowing everything, and it's just bogged me down. And somebody was supposed to keep me accountable.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Was that Courtney? Is that why she's giggling?
Yeah.
Uh,
But I tell you, I am so freaking pumped. And I just can't come down off that high. You know what I mean? I just freaking pumped. And
That's
I think
awesome.
everybody's done talking to me because I don't shut up. I mean, Carl and Ashley. Actually, I got Ashley pretty wound. And I've got a few other people pretty wound. So I just hope it all comes together.
It sure will. Now, Lisa, you and Courtney both have said you loved how at conference they broke things down and the simplicity of things.
Yeah.
Give us an
That was
example. Give us an example for those of us that weren't there. Like, what did they do that was complex in your heads that they broke down and made it super easy?
Well, and I know everybody has told me this, to simplify, keep it simple. But everywhere I go, I can barely get through the door because I got all these bags and good God. I mean, and just the realization that, you know what, it could be just a little bag or it could be just your phone,
Right. Right.
And it's like, why can't I bring myself to do that?
Right. Well, and I think when we go to a party and we see, like, let's say we go to a Pampered Chef party and we see the hostess, or not the hostess, but the person who's there representing the company, they walk in with 5 suitcases.
Right.
That would overwhelm me, and I'd be like, hell no, am I ever going to do what she does? Because who wants to carry all this junk around?
Right.
I have to have all this product on hand, and it weighs you down. So I think that's a great aha moment for you, Lisa.
Yeah, I think so. It's just a matter of incorporating it now.
Right, exactly. That
That's really
action.
hard for me. I've always been like that. Ask my husband every time. Well, the girls know.
Right.
How was it this weekend? A disoriented fart in a whirlwind. You know what I mean?
Where's my sock?
But
Oh
the beautiful thing is, Lisa, if you get your 3, 4, 5 bags down to 1, and let's say you're out and you're talking to someone, and let's say they want to try a sample of the greens and you forgot to put greens in your 1 bag, That's awesome, because now you set up a second date to meet with them and say, you know what? I just gave out. You don't say I forgot my greens at home.
Right.
You
Just
say,
give out your last
I
one.
just gave out my last sample of greens.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be tomorrow? And I'll just run them by you real quick. It'll take 3 minutes. And then you have that second date and that follow-up.
That's great. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And
Well,
I-
that's been pretty huge too. Like I'm trying to get Sheena to make a video about it. She just met with 3 girls today, and this is what she's been doing lately is she makes appointments and she meets with people in person. She signed 3 people today just by meeting with them in person.
Right.
It's insane.
that's huge.
It is huge.
But it
Absolutely.
doesn't have to be scary.
Right. So what about you, Courtney? What was it that was simplified for you?
The blitzing part.
So what part
Mhm.
about the blitzing part?
Hey, well, Carrie went up to Melanie. Was it Melanie? Is that her name? I
Melody?
don't remember. And it was Melody.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the energy she has. Holy crap. But she was like, hey, like, I really like your shirt, like, and whatever. And then just kind of just like went up to her, like had like a normal conversation, like, oh, like, I mean, by the way, like, have you ever heard of this like crazy rap thing? Like, and just kind of went from there.
Right.
I honestly have been a blitzing machine. I mean, I have. I'm out of everything, and I'm just waiting for my order to get here. But so now I'm just texting, but I met 3 internationals. I think it was was it Thursday or Friday? I don't know, but I reached out to one of the Aussie girls, and we're friends, and we're communicating as far as international levels go.
That's
You know,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And we just kind of, I don't know, we met in the bathroom, but we just kind of clicked, you know. And she's just the cutest little thing, and she is a diamond already, and just totally super pumped about these promotions. And I told her, I says, you know, if we can share some information, you know, as far as how things go in your country and how things go in our country, I said, honestly, we could take this to a whole nother level. And she's like, hell yeah, you know. So I was pretty pumped about that. And I met a French dude from France. I guess he was typical French man, but anyway. And then I met
A sexy pig.
Canadian. Well, just a Casanova type, you know
Right,
what I mean?
a sexy pig.
Yeah, I think he's all about everybody, but anyway, it's like, see. But anyway, and then I met a Canadian, and I also have another somebody I've been talking to on Facebook that's a Canadian, and she is very seriously considering signing up. So I think that's going to open a door for me, I hope.
Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. Beth and Sherry, what were some of your aha moments?
When I don't even remember who it was because I don't have any of my stuff with me that I wrote down right now. But whoever, back to the blitzing thing, when she was talking about ninja blitzing, because blitzing is like a big thing for me. I'm horrible at it because it makes me really nervous. So I was glad that they talked about that. Like, and when they said, which I know that we've said before, but if you don't blitz people and don't give them the opportunity or talk to them about the product or, you know, the money that we make, then like we're doing a disservice to them because they might need it, you know.
Absolutely.
So I know that we've talked about it before, but the more they talked about it, it really like sunk in with me, and I'm like looking at that a total different way now. And like wasting my blitz cards by just, you know, putting them on like cork boards and gas stations and stuff. No one ever takes any of that stuff anyways, so it's just a waste. So I'm glad they covered that because it made me feel a little bit better about blitzing.
Awesome. Well,
Can I share something with you, Beth? Is that Beth?
Yeah.
Can I share something with you about blitzing? I absolutely did not. I hated blitzing too. I just freaked out about it. But it was up in Duluth, and it was like, I just got to freaking bite the bullet. I need to do this. So I made a game out of it, and I pretended like I was on a scavenger hunt. And the first people I saw in any place, I had tons of errands. So each place I went into, I'm looking for somebody in green. And I run right up to him and I says, I'm on a scavenger hunt, yada, yada, yada. I need you to take your picture with me. And I held up the Blitz card and I gave it to him. And it actually turned out to be so much fun. I had a blast, but until the cops stopped me. But
Well, it can be fun. Blitzing can be fun. It's your perspective, Beth. So glad you had that total shift in your mind, because I think sometimes when I say it, or Sarah or Sherry, it doesn't resonate like when you hear it from a top money earner, or maybe just that fifth time you needed to hear it. So awesome. Do you have any other aha moments?
I did, but I like everything was great. I don't know exactly what I don't know. I'm just glad that I went, because it totally changed from the last few months for me. I haven't been doing anything, and my outlook on all of it is completely different now. So
Yay, that's awesome. I'm so glad you went. That makes me so happy. Okay, Miss Sherry, what were some of your aha moments?
Okay, so I too liked when the Walshes were talking about doing what you're good at. I loved that part. I also liked just the tips they gave to get your new distributor started and how easy that was.
Yep.
I mean, I really liked the whole day of Saturday and how they basically did, from newbie to, making all the money. I thought that was great how they broke it down. I thought all kinds of points in that were just amazing. I really liked that too. I'm trying to think of what some other things that stuck out. It was nice too. I like that they did that loyalty award. I thought that was awesome to include that and do something different, especially with how different people have been dropping out. So those are just kind of some of the highlights that I had.
Awesome. Well, I just thought it was great. I watched it pay-per-view. Sarah had a great group of people with her on pay-per-view. So it was good that people could at least get together and experience some of it if we couldn't get there. So I just love that.
Someone's echoing.
Oh, that's probably me typing. Is that what you're hearing?
I don't know. I'll mute you and see. Does that sound better? Okay. Did I mute everyone, or did everyone just mute themselves?
We
Mute themselves.
Okay, Miss Mensing, you are up next. So I wanted to get Sarah on tonight and just kind of talk about how she's recruiting distributors, how she's following up with conversations, because who was it at conference that said when they blitz, they just kind of stand there with a dorky smile on their face?
Carrie with the nodding.
Okay. And I feel like sometimes, Sarah, when you follow up, you're just kind of like, yeah, what's up?
Hey, girl, what's up? Like, you ready?
And
You coming?
Yes. Today I was talking to this girl in another country, and she was giving me one-word answers. And one-word answers just freak me out, because I'm like, seriously? And then I was like, Sarah, how am I supposed to respond? And of course it was lunch hour, so she was busy. And then I'm like, okay, how would Sarah respond? She would just be like kind of a dork and kind of like, hey, what's up? This is awesome. So I'm like, all right, let's get Sarah on this call. Let's kind of see how she's interacting with distributors, how she's closing on them, what she's saying. And I want this to be where you guys are asking her questions as well. So as she's talking, ask her. Don't wait until after the call and then message her. Ask her now. This is good information for everyone. So I don't know. Where do we want to start?
Well, I was thinking about it a little bit, and because a lot of people have been asking me how I've been signing distributors lately, and I feel like I finally found my niche of going for quality people over quantity. But those quality people, you might have to wait a little bit, or you sign less people, but you get better teammates, or you get better people to work with you. And I told Kaylee that I'd use her as an example because I found her on Instagram. And so we had talked before about it, way back in August, and she liked one of my recent posts, and so I sent her a screenshot, and I just said, hey, Kaylee, thank you so much for liking my post. I know we kind of talked about it before, but I'm just curious. Are you still interested in making some extra money? And she's like, yep, and so hesitant, and we talked, and, I offered to FaceTime with her, and she's like, well, I'm busy, and we talked about how much it was to sign up. We talked about the website fee, and there's this part that I wanted to talk about. She's like, I'm nervous because one of my close friends did it before, and I don't think she tried very hard, but she didn't make much money off of it. And I usually what I like to do is just show that I'm completely open. So I'm again, fully honest and no bullshit. You decide your success. I can teach you everything I've done to be successful. Raimi, I think you and I had the same conversation. This is my full-time job. I make on average about this. I can teach you everything. It's not hard, but it's your business. You have to decide that you're worth it and that your life is worth fighting for. It all comes down to you. And she talked about this other girl that she was following on Instagram, and we just kind of talked about it a little bit. Talked about the difference between Canada and the US, so just price differences. And she said, she's like, I'm so scared. And I said, if you weren't, I'd be a little freaked out, ha ha ha, but being worried is normal. It's a huge step and could possibly change your life forever. Obviously, you've seen the good that can come from this, but I'm guessing what you're worried about is if you can make this work or not, right? And she said, yes. I said, okay, so let me ask you this. In your mind, what's the best thing possible that could happen by giving this a shot? She said, well, the money and not having to worry about being able to make payments and stuff, I guess. Being able to just work from home would be amazing. And so I said, is having the opportunity to work from home, not having to worry about bills, worth giving yourself a chance? I mean, you might sign up and absolutely kill it and fall in love with it, in love with something you never thought you would, but you don't know if you don't try. And even if you try it and decide this isn't for you, you can stop at any time. No hard feelings and no fees to cancel. You've got some of the same goals I did, and that's my life now, and I would be more than happy to show you exactly what I did. That's my job to do for you. But you're the one who's got to make that decision and work your business because you are worth this opportunity. And she's like, really? And she sent me these crying faces and everything. I'm like, I know, I'm an emotional person, so I like to tug at the heartstrings and everything.
So now this is someone who you've only had one prior convo with?
Yep. And this is someone so I talked with her back in August, and this was she was a random ad, and she asked me, because we FaceTime tonight, she's like, why did you even add me? And I'm like, because I go on people's profiles and I'm like, you're pretty, you're pretty, you're pretty, you're pretty, and everything.
Right.
So I'll go and I'll find people that I want on my team. My next conquer, I should say, is I want someone from the East Coast again. But I want a college student. So what I do is I go on Google and I research what colleges are out on the East Coast, and I just go on Instagram, look up their sororities, and I just follow their sorority girls.
Right. Well,
and I go to their friends and follow, and then you don't follow them.
Right, exactly. And, I'll do that too. I will Google the top 5 places to live in Scotland because we're open in Scotland. And then I'll go into, Instagram under places and start finding people. But what
about the coffee shops? because
Right.
people check in at the coffee shops.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I want to say about this message you sent to Kaylee the other day is everyone should go back through their Facebook messages and their DMs on Instagram, all the way back to the very beginning. I did it today on Facebook from 3 years ago, and I was like, holy smokes, I have so many leads I did not follow up with. And all I did was send them a quick little message, whether they were interested in product or interested in the money piece 3 years ago. I don't care, because we just need to offer this opportunity to everyone. And so many times we forget to write our leads down in our lead book, and we're disorganized, and we don't have like this perfect structure of how we want to organize. Or maybe we weren't organized when we first started a year or two ago, and now we are. So scroll to the bottom of your Messenger and your DMs and Instagram and start messaging all those people that you've ever reached out to, because Sarah had only reached out to this girl once, so she was a cold prospect. You know?
Mm-hmm.
She really was, and you just don't know whose timing is right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and especially with tax season coming up and everything. And it was a simple message. It was like, hey, I know we've talked before, but I'm just curious. That's one of the Jocelyn Yates, like, trigger words is, I'm just curious.
Right.
Are you still interested in making some extra money?
That's it. Then shut your mouth. Right?
Yeah, that's it. You're like, don't say anything more, because then you just shoot yourself in the foot.
Right. Right. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. So does anyone have questions on that piece of the communication?
How exactly do you like hook somebody? Because like I've talked to so many girls and they like comment on my posts, and so like I'll message them. I'll be like, hey, are you interested in joining? And they'll be like, well, tell me about it. And I'll like tell them a little bit about it, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I say is a persuasive enough like way like you guys are talking about. Like I don't know if I have
It
like
comes
the
with
correct
time.
wording.
Mm-hmm.
But too, like, you got to think of it as that it's not your job to persuade them to join you. Like, Raimi, you've been in for like a whopping 2 days, and you're already just like,
I've signed 2 people.
yeah, like, it's insane. So like, you need to take the pressure off you, because this isn't about you anymore. Yes, the paychecks and everything, but like, as far as the business opportunity is, you're offering it to them. Like, this is what kind of clicked with me. I think this was Jade Hooper who said this. Like, you can't say the wrong thing to the right people.
Correct.
So if they're going to join your team, like, you know, that's why we say it takes between 7 and 21 times of following up with people before they actually sign up. So like, you're making that first contact, and that's great. And sometimes they just need time to think about it. Kind of like you and me. Like, we talked for a couple weeks, and then you finally joined. But two, one of the big things for you is going to be like utilizing the chat that you, me, and Courtney have of like, they say, yes, I'm interested. And then you send us a screenshot and be like, okay, now what do I say? And we'll tell you exactly what to say. So that way,
Okay.
too, like, you know,
And
you
two,
can
it
get
helps
a
if
feel.
you do like your research on that person. Like if you look on their profile and be like, oh, like you have 2 kids, or like you have kids, like this would be amazing, or whatever. Like it helps to like really connect with people and know what they want and know what their goals are, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, like, too, to bring it back to you, since you're so fresh with signing up, like, we talked about it before you joined of, like, why you wanted to join. You wanted a new car, a new phone, and you want your dream wedding and everything. And so that is what Courtney and I are helping you with, and we'll tug on those heartstrings, like, when we need to tug on those heartstrings to, like, you know, make sure you're digging deep. But you need to do that with your other people, too, because you need to make it about them, you know. Like, sharing the opportunity, the business side, yes, and that's why you have Courtney and I. But, like, you know, talking with them about, like, hey, yeah, maybe it's just a tank of gas or groceries or diapers for your kid. Like, what do you want?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and what are they struggling with? Because on social media, people like to air their dirty laundry.
Mm.
So, you know, did their car break down? Are they riding the bus with their kids to daycare and work? You know, and then, like Sarah's saying, you can start to tug at those heartstrings. But at the end of the day, we don't want to talk people into joining our team. Because if we have to talk people into it, they're going to quit because they don't believe in themselves. But let's say that you have 5 people right now that are interested in joining your team and 1 person joins. Those 4 people you just keep following up with, like every 3, 4, 5 weeks. Like, hey, I saw on Facebook that you got a new dog. Oh my God, your dog's so cute. I hope all is well. And start building that relationship as well. And then when their timing is right and they have that belief in themselves, like, I can do this, then they're going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, a lot of them too, like, you're so fresh that they want to see you do something with this too, or like something happen to you, and then that'll be I've got people who actually, a girl messaged me today, and it's somebody that I've been talking to since I joined, so it's been over a year and a half, and she's like, February 24th, I'm doing it. I'm like, okay, well, I've heard this before, like, but like, it's not our job to judge their journey. It's our job is to be here for when they're ready, because like, if you push them
how do they
right away,
see what you like accomplish? Like, how will they know that you're being successful?
you
Say,
post
like,
about it.
hey, like, I just got this much groceries with like my extra income from it works, or hey, I was able to like fill my gas tank for free because of my job at it. It's just kind of that.
Or when you
But like, you do sign 2 loyal customers, you can like post a selfie of you hanging out in bed doing homework or something, and then like do like the picture overlay. I'll tag you in one of our, like, or Courtney, if you want to tag her really quick in one of yours, of like, and I just signed up 2 customers, like, and then just say just their first names, don't tag them, but like, girls, I'm so excited for you and everything.
Right.
Because then you're showing people that you are like, you're working and you're doing things. It's not, you're not just posting and getting nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and then when you do start to promote, Sarah and Courtney will do shout outs to you on social media, and then people will see that on your timeline too. Right now people are interviewing you. They're like, okay, what is she doing? Is she going to stick with this? Is she going to quit? Is she going to make money? Like, everything you do is under a microscope because people want to see if you're in it. Because people don't want to join something if then you quit in a month,
Mhm.
So they're just going to keep watching. And you know what, girl? You might have 5 people next week message you that are interested that have never liked or commented on your Facebook stuff at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy how people start to come out of the woodwork after you're consistent with everything.
Well, and the thing is too, oh gosh, I don't remember, Christy, this might have been you that said this, but it's like, you need customers now and you need customers a year from now.
Yep.
So like, you're planting those seeds, like you said, Raimi, but you
Right.
need them now and you need them later. So like, it doesn't it does, but it doesn't matter when they sign up, as
Mhm.
long as they do sometime,
Right.
and like, these loyal customers that you're signing, like, be good to them and they can turn into distributors. Like, I was a loyal, Courtney was a loyal, who else is on here? Sam was not loyal. I got her as a distributor right away.
I just jumped in. I tried
Yeah.
to rap and I just jumped in. But the loyal customers, what is it? 60% of loyals become distributors? Or 40%?
40.
Dang.
Yeah. It's a lot.
But yeah, one of the loyals is my mother, so I don't think she'll become a distributor.
Nice.
She'll see. Maybe she'll
Nice
see
to
what
go to
you're
order.
able to do with it, though.
Yeah, that's true. She got 2 things today. I was impressed.
Good.
She got the essential oils and the fat burner
Fat
thing.
fighters.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. That's
Awesome.
exciting.
So Sarah, how much are you posting? Because I know social media is your big thing.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you posting on Instagram and how much are you posting on Facebook?
I've been really terrible with posting lately, and I'll be very honest about that. How
much should we be posting then?
I post like 5 a day. It's really bad.
Yep. So no,
I'm
that's
annoying.
pretty good. Between 3 and 5, but you want to make them meaningful. So total, like including every shared post or anything that you do with your personal life, anything. Usually I say don't share any posts, don't share any vines or videos or anything like that. But 3 to 5 original posts that you make a day. and maybe 2 to 3 of them make it about it works somehow. So I usually do or when I'm on my game, I'll do 2 product posts throughout the day. Usually it's me with my lifestyle, holding up ThermoFit or taking a picture of my shake or something like that. And then I'll do one lifestyle post talking about being at the gas pump or just how far I've come, or just different things. Like Jade says, past, present, future, talk about where you were, where you are now, and where you're going. That really does help. And then the other post or 2 throughout the day, just talk about your day. I post about Tilly all the time, or being at the coffee shop because I love it there. Just stuff like that. So you're showing that you have a life and it works as a part of your life, but it's not your entire life. So that way too, it doesn't look so overwhelming from the outside in, that anybody can do this. On Instagram, I usually post maybe once or twice a week, because Facebook is supposed to be your highlight reel of your life, whereas Instagram to me, since I'm not as good at it, or I'm a Facebook person, to Instagram I just do my my awesome post, I really worked hard on this one, or good pictures, where when people like my posts, they usually don't know that it's a lifestyle post or a product post, which almost all my posts are. And so I'll get between 60 and 90 likes on every post, and that's 60, 90 people that I get to talk to, which they don't know what they liked. And now I get to talk to them about it, and they would have known.
So how do you talk to them about it? So you post something on Instagram about your life and being in love with Brady and 2 years ago, yada, 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 and happily ever after. So what does your follow-up look like? Not verbatim, but how do you do it?
I'm going to pull up my thing. So here's my thing. So when people come, I have my account on private, but when people are looking to follow me, they usually look at your first 6 pictures or 9 pictures. And so I always want to keep that nice. So when they're liking my stuff, that they can go and creep and they see that I'm not a spammy person. And I talk to them. I usually say the same thing. I'll send them a screenshot of what they liked, and I say, "Hey, girl, thanks for loving my post. I really appreciate the support. Are you interested in making some extra money?" And half of them will not answer. 25% of them will say no. 25% of them will say well, maybe yes, give me more information. And that's the 25 that you work with. And then we might talk a little bit, and then some will keep talking with me, some won't. I don't know. Instagram is a little bit more difficult. Then maybe in 2 weeks, when they pop across my feed on Instagram, I'll send them a message, and I'll say I'll comment on their post in some way, but in a message, and I'll be like, "Girl, you're in Mexico right now, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous, it's negative 33 here in Minnesota, I wish I could be there." And we could I count that as a follow-up, because you're making contact.
Right. Well, and you have to build those relationships, especially on social media, because they don't know. Yeah, they don't know if Sarah's some creepy old guy behind all these cute pictures of this hot little blonde. So you're having to constantly reach out and form these relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then halfway through the conversation, if we're actually having a conversation, I love commenting on people's pictures of their animals. And so we'll talk about it, and then halfway through, when it's kind of a lull in the conversation, be like, "Oh, hey, so I was meaning to ask you too, are you still thinking about this, or thinking about the extra money thing? I know we kind of talked about it before." Or I call it my scared shit list, where people that I really want on my dream team, but I'm nervous to talk with, I'll send them messages I've been working on forming a relationship with them for a while, and then I'll send them a message and be like, "Hey, so I have a weird question. And they're like, yeah, like, what is it? And I'll be like, so I've been wanting to ask you for a while, but I've been too nervous too, because you're really pretty and you're so much fun, and like you're just really outgoing, and so I didn't know like what you would say, but I have to ask. So have you ever thought about doing what I do? Or like, have you ever thought about being a distributor, or like earning extra money, or like do something like that? And then they usually really nicely answer you like, no, like, yeah, I have, but like, no, it's not really for me. Or like, yes, I actually kind of did. I've thought about it, but I don't know. And then that opens the door for you to like talk to them about, all right, well, what aren't you sure about?
Right. But I think the key thing that everyone needs to remember as they're looking at getting distributors and making those connections is consistency. You can't post twice a week and follow up once a week and expect to get results. You know, Sherry and I were talking today about how many connections we're making a day, how many people we're messaging. And I said to her, I said, you know, if people want diamond, they want double diamond, they want triple diamond money, whatever your goal is, you can't message 5, 10, 15, 20 people a day and expect to get to triple diamond fast. It's not going to happen. Carrie Bauer will message like 200 to 500 people a day. You know, it's a number, right. It's a numbers game. And the way that she messages these people is she's posting. And then whoever likes and comments gets a message, the same message every time.
Yep. Don't ever complicate it.
Right. So it's that consistency and it's that follow-up piece. It really is. And, you know, we can't follow up once. We can't follow up twice. We have to keep doing it. I mean, Sherry is the queen of follow-up. How many times do you follow up with a person on average, Sherry, before they like sign or buy product?
It depends, because some people I've been following up with for over a year, and they finally just signed. So, oh my gosh. I would say like the yearly people, well over 50 easily.
Right.
And some of them with shorter amounts of time, I would say on average at least a dozen.
Right. And a dozen falls right into that 7 to 21 times range. You know, people that need that reminder, because if someone messages me, let's say someone messages me about foundation from Unique, okay? And I open the message while I'm at the stop sign driving my kids to sports. Well, as soon as that stoplight turns green, I have to put my phone down and I drive, and then that message gets buried. So if you don't follow up with me, shame on you. I'll go to one of the other 6,000 Unique girls in my newsfeed and get what I need from her. You know, so it is that follow-up, and it is that customer service piece. You know, and that's follow-up and consistency are kind of like this married thing. You know, you can't have one without the other. So tell us more about like you recruiting distributors, and what do you girls have for questions? Because I know that you're always wanting to know, like, how is she signing people up? What is she doing? What are your questions?
Okay, so when they're saying like no, do you just be like, oh, not a problem, like let me know if you ever change your mind, or you just kind of be like next?
I'm usually polite about it. I'll be like, okay, well, you know, thanks for letting me know. And then just move on.
And then
Do you ever follow up when they say no?
Oh, yeah.
Like if we talked about it, then yes. If they say, like, if I send them a message like, hey, are you interested in making money? They say, no, thank you. Then I say, like, I don't write them down. I don't follow up with them. But if we talked about it a little bit, I'll write them down. And, like, maybe in a month or so, I'll say, like, hey, so I know we talked about it before. Like, is it still on your mind? Are you still thinking about it?
Working? Right. Because just because they say no doesn't mean no forever.
Right. It's just not right now.
It's just not right now. I've had people tell me no, and someone just died, or someone in their family just got cancer, or they're pregnant, about ready to have a baby, and they don't know if they have time. So, you know, it's hard not to take it personally, but we just have to remember that timing's everything, and it's just not a, you know, no right now. So how are you finding people on, not finding, because I know how you find people, but what are you doing on Facebook? Are you adding like 5 people a day or 25 people a day?
I usually go on adding sprees like all of December and January. I would add like 40 people a day. And they were all college students. I create their profile every time. So like that was my sewing season.
Right.
And then I would, like the ones I really wanted on my team, Raimi, you're one of them. I went to your profile and I clicked follow and see first. So I was interacting with them on like every post that I could. And then when they like sign up or like we make more interactions, I'll take them off that see first because like Facebook will just let me see them all the time. They'll pop up on my newsfeed all the time, and so I'll put more people on the see first list.
Right. Well, and okay, so if you're adding too many people and Facebook says, do you know this person? Take a break for the rest of the day and stop adding people because it means you're close to Facebook jail. But I have found out that when you're adding people, if you don't look at their profile, odds are you're going to end up adding like unique girls or Beachbody girls. And then what's
fake profiles.
Yep. And then what's going to happen is all your friends in the suggested friends list are going to be like 800 Beachbody girls. So, and plus we don't want to follow people that are in a competing MLM. Because it's not,
See, all my suggested friends are just military SOs, so I'm just like, add.
Yes, that's perfect. That is so perfect. And you know,
I added like 10 today.
the ones that accept me back, I keep track of on a list. So I can see the new people because you can't always follow first, like 200 people that have, you know, accepted your friend request. So I'll write them down so that way when I'm doing a power hour, I see the 50 or 100 most recent friends and I'll go onto their pages and start interacting because then they will start to show up more on my stuff and they'll start to see my things.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I won't do anything. I'll do stuff for like a month. I'll interact on the people on my newsfeed for a month.
Uh-huh.
And then once like I get sick and tired of seeing their names or whatever, or like maybe we've talked and like I want new blood, I'll go I'll refresh and I'll like go find more people to go interact on, and then I start seeing their stuff in my profile every day or on my newsfeed every day. So I leave that up for a month, and so they're seeing my stuff for a month, you know. And so I just switch it up. Like I like I'm a green person, but I can't keep track of every single person that I add all the time because I add like 200 people or friend requests every week.
Right.
So I'm just like, I can't. Some people do. Courtney is really green, and so maybe she can.
So what else? What else do you have for us, Sarah? What are like your top tips with recruiting, with follow up with what we need to know?
I'd say one is to give people time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they just need to watch you. 2 is never, ever, 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 ever post anything negative.
Mm-hmm.
Even suggestive or sexual or political or anything.
Yes.
Don't do it.
No one cares about your political views.
Well, people out there like to start fights or pick fights, and so it's just better just to avoid it.
Right.
If you need to vent, that's what your uplines are for. And then don't overcomplicate it. Like, don't word vomit. Like, it's fine. You know, it's going to take a couple conversations for them to finally pull the trigger, usually. So, like, don't be afraid to, like, you know, if it ends and it just kind of ends, it's fine. You're going to talk about it ways. And then just, yeah, make it personal. Like, I like to say that, you know, I'm not going to build your business for you. This is yours. But you need to decide that you're worth it. You need to give yourself your opportunity. Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result, which then I say something like, I relate it back to me, and I'll be like, it was like being broke, but I didn't do anything to change that. And then I did, and now I have a new house. Or like, then I did, and then now I don't have to worry about groceries every month or something, make it something relatable where they would care about that. So pulling at those like yellow strings, but making them see that it's all on them, like give themselves that opportunity.
Right.
And then that's usually like hook them and cook them kind of thing.
Well, and your posts are pretty genuine. When you're posting your lifestyle posts, they're pretty genuine. You're talking about the struggle. You're talking about eating ramen noodles and your mom slipping you money. But I think the thing we have to remind ourselves of is we can't compare ourselves to other people in this business either, because we don't know how many hours a day Sarah's putting in with reaching out to these people. So what we need to do is we need to take the tools that are provided for us, training videos, the info we got from conference, whatever, and we need to run with it and put the action behind it. Because as much as we try not to compare ourselves to one another, we do. Like, well, what is she doing that I'm not doing? Mm-hmm. Or whatever. And the fact of the matter is it doesn't matter what Sarah's doing or Shelby's doing or Lisa's doing. Like, we all have to do our thing. We have to rock it the way we're going to and be consistent. Mm-hmm. Like, this is not just a job where you punch the clock. This is kind of your life. Sarah wears the shirts. We all wear the shirts. We have advertising on our cars. We have Blitz cards. We talk about the products. It's not just on social media, but it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And even if you're not posting all the time, you're still posting enough on social media where people are going to see those posts about the products of your life too.
Mm-hmm. Which I feel like I'm not posting a lot right now because like I feel like my time is spent now like with my team.
Right.
And helping them grow their, teams. But when you do post or like when I do post, like it's thought out, or good pictures or inspirational where people don't mind seeing what I have to say or, and then how Jocelyn says she posts basically the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. So like, Christy, how my story about the ramen noodles and the $3 in my bank account and my mom slipping me money because I post about it over and over and over and over and over and over and over because people can relate with that.
Right.
College students can relate with that. But not everybody sees that post every single time I do it. And I switch up the wording and like it might be something in a picture or something in that one post that finally clicks with people. And so my story back then, I can't change it now, and so I'm just going to tell it over and over and over with different wording.
Right.
Because somebody needs to hear it, or like my new friends don't know it yet.
Right. Well, and the thing that I admire about you is you took quitting off the table as well. And I think
it, but it's not there anymore.
Right. And that's a difficult thing for a lot of people because everyone can come up with excuses. I don't have the time. I'm busy with school. I'm busy with college. I'm busy with kids. I'm busy with this. I'm busy with that. But it's a commitment like anything else. It's a commitment to anything else. You are going to change your life if you commit to doing it. But then it's not this like, okay, this week I'm committed to 2 days and then I'm not going to do anything for 3 weeks. Like, you're either in or you're out. Mm-hmm. And you're in, and people know you're in, and people want to join a team as well with people that know that they're in and they're going to be consistent and they're going to be supportive like 24/7. Mm-hmm. And I think that helps with your distributors too, because they'll watch you and stalk you and see, oh, she posts every day. Mm-hmm. She's talking about it every day. She hasn't quit. She hasn't given up, and I think that says a lot too. Whereas they might look at someone else's, maybe they're looking at you and maybe there's someone on Instagram that's bugging them about it. And maybe they research that person and that person post once a week or 4 times a month or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I don't want that. So.
Well, and Sherry, who was it that was talking about how they had like she used to do parties and she used to have this like PowerPoint slideshow going on, like, and then
that was
Sherry Lynn.
And then she was just like, or because like people would like approach her and be like, oh, well, like I'm interested, but like I don't have that device. Like would I still be able to like be successful? And it's just like, you're doing way too much at that point. Like you had to make it look like it is. It's very realistic and doable and attainable and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, it's, Courtney, that's so true. Like, it's just, we're overcomplicating it. And once I stopped overcomplicating it, that's when I started signing people again. Because I went through my lull last year too, like just like everybody else. Like our jobs are loyal customers and distributors.
Right.
That's it. So you figure out what works for you. Like, Rainy, you're new, and so you're just figuring it out, like what you like to do and what works for you and your wording. But like the rest of us, I mean, some of us are good in person, like Sheena. Christy, you're good at the thing.
Yeah, but I'm better in person too. Yeah.
There you go. Whereas like Courtney, Sam, me, I don't know, we're all better online, you know, but like that's our thing. And so like that's okay.
Right.
But these are all resources for us to use to get loyals and distributors. This is not the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking with people is the job. So texting and Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all of that, those are all resources. That's not the job.
Right.
So like when you stop like saying like, oh, I'm working and I'm like on my news feed and everything, that's not working, you know, and just talking with people is working.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else, like our scripts and everything, that's how, you know, that's what worked for me. And so it might work for you too. If not, that's okay. You know, you find your own vibe.
Right. Absolutely.
I think we're at our hour mark.
Are we? Oh, okay. Does anyone else have questions or anything they want to ask Sara? I mean, I feel like everyone has the tools and they know what they need to do.
Well, and that's just it too. It's like we can hear from so many different people, like how they sign DTs, and it's the same thing every single time. You just have to do it. I mean, Sarah's not doing anything extra special. You know what I mean? It's just, she's doing it. She's just working, and that's just what we all need to do.
Right.
I had someone message me today and saying, like, oh, did you just join at work? So I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I wish I would have known, so I could have helped you. I would have loved to have you on my team. And I was like, well, I didn't even know you, so I think it's just timing.
So you're like, oh, somebody, like 7 other people have like asked me to try these products too. Like that's the only way I know any of the products. And I'm like, so you want to be on my team, right? Because like you're awesome and like I want you and my team is awesome. So you're gonna like.
I know. I told you were like the 10th person that asked me.
Yeah. What was it that you said about not posting videos?
Oh, yeah. Like when you see people like the videos about the polar bears or like the otters or, you know, the riots and everything, like when people share posts of like videos, you know what I mean? Or like vines and everything. And you just share, like to share it to your wall because it's funny or it's cute or something. Don't do it.
It just takes up a post. I'm really bad at that, but it just takes up one of your posts.
Yeah, well, and when Facebook sees you share other posts, your interaction levels go down because you're not being genuine. That's not
really
genuine to you.
Okay.
Like even when you copy and paste posts, you need to like change up the wording just a little bit so it makes it genuine to you. So Facebook sees you as an original person, not you're just like a sharing machine and like nobody wants to see that.
Right. Okay. That's good advice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else, my loves? All right.
No, I'm good. Do you want to do another thing, another card? I got a good one. You ready?